it's a good one tonight. Great show for you. But hey, that's not the only reason I'm excited. We're going to have a Christmas election. Yeah, just what I always wanted. Apparently, though, Boris Johnson really excited about the thought of a Christmas poll. Come on. To be fair, she was giving him some IT advice. What about Labour? Well, here's Jeremy Corbyn this week. Oh, praying for a miracle. Apparently, Jezza started eating porridge for breakfast to give him energy for the election. And after the election, Cheerios? Don't know. And finally, good luck. Good luck to the England rugby team playing the World Cup final in Japan tomorrow morning. Yeah. Tell you. Of course, the last time an Englishman played rugby in Japan, it was Boris Johnson taking on an under-11 team. Here he is demonstrating his nuanced approach to foreign affairs. I win! Let's get some guests on! Today we're chatting to a true legend of stage and screen. McKellen will be here. And with the music from pop sensation Dua Lipa. But first, we have the two stars of the new Apple TV drama, The Morning Show. She's the Oscar-winning star of Walk the Line, Wild, Legally Blonde, and the smash hit Big Little Lies. Please welcome Reese Witherspoon! Rachel and Friends before starring in hit films like Along Came Polly, Office Space, Horrible Bosses, and Bruce Almighty. Please welcome Jennifer Aniston! Hello. Good to see you. Come and sit beside your pal. And this iconic actress has played two of the most famous nannies in history, Mary Poppins and Maria Von Trapp, and won an Oscar, 5 Golden Globes, 2 Emmys, and 2 Grammys along the way. A huge pleasure to welcome Dame Julie Andrews! You're up!
Come here.
Oh, have a seat, dude. Lovely to have you all.
All right, let's go snuggle up.
Yes. Every day is a holiday with Julie.
Oh.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Because you're traveling the globe with your book. I mean, are you?
I am. It's just out. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you in the whole tour of things?
I'm here in London.
Well done, you.
Yes, very smart.
And does it feel like coming home still when you get back to England?
Yes, it does. And I got family here, and it's lovely to see them, and I love being back.
Because Jennifer and Reese, bit of a super fan.
I had a mild heart attack when I heard she was going to be here. We both were like, oh my God. And I thought I was going to cry.
Well, excuse me, I'm a huge fan of these two. I am. And it's so...
I don't need to... This is... Wow.
Should we just wrap it up now?
Yeah.
Details of what they're promoting is online. And now we're talking backstage. We were taking the selfie backstage because Jennifer Aniston, we joke about this thing, but you did actually break the internet.
I broke it.
You genuinely did, didn't you?
I guess I genuinely did, yes.
So
not intentionally.
Yeah, but you know Instagram, Julie.
Yes.
So Jennifer joined Instagram and broke it. Well, that's true.
That's how I like to enter.
Would you mind explaining that? Because
you're asking the wrong person.
Oh, okay.
But, I think what happened was too many people at one time. I think it just got clogged. I don't really. There's somebody at Greece.
Yeah.
Happened?
Well, no, you got to 1 million followers faster than anyone in history. That's what you did.
That's what
and so people couldn't like or follow things because everyone was just following you at the same time. I think that's what happened.
I don't know.
But you started big. You started your very first post, of course, a Friends reunion. There you all are. And was that like an old picture you've been saving? Kind of, I'm going to break Instagram one day.
This is my weapon.
Or was that a recent thing?
That's a recent picture.
Because, I mean, you guys, whenever any of you are here, you've got to think, I can't ask them about a Friends reunion. But this is you fanning the flames.
Well, this is us, this is just we love to get together whenever we can because David lives in New York and Matt's working. I mean, the girls we're very good about keeping up with our
Yeah.
time together. But so when that happens, we just have so much fun.
And of course, Reese, you were part of the Friends family.
Literally family.
Yes, your sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I got, it was such a privilege. I got to play her sister when I was
Oh, that's
23 years old. Yeah.
And what's so odd is that you were saying in an interview somewhere that you hadn't acted in front of an audience before.
Right, and I never have since.
We broke it.
Really?
We broke her.
Like the Instagram.
Yeah.
She broke the Instagram, and then she also broke me.
Broke her will to live
No, it was
audience
just terrifying. It was terrifying having to say jokes, and I would always look at Jen and go, I'm messing up. And
But didn't it get more, like once you were out there for a bit, didn't it start to become more fun?
no.
But this is all right, isn't it? These are friendly peeps.
This is different, and I get to be myself and just watch you drink wine, which is just delightful.
Cheers.
By the way, wine with ice is I like that.
Well, because it makes the sound of a cocktail.
It does. Why don't you just then have a cocktail?
I like wine. Oh. But with the sound of a cocktail.
I get it.
Yeah, that's what I like. Listen, we're going to start tonight talking about great books. Guess who's written one? It's only Dame Julie Andrews. Homework. And your first book was kind of birth to Broadway.
through Broadway, yeah.
And then this book covers...
The Hollywood years.
which is sort of...
The first book was my early years all the way through to heading to Hollywood for Mr. Disney. And then this is from the moment we arrived in Hollywood, the making of the movies and things like that.
And you wrote it with your daughter, Emma.
Yes.
And, I mean, yes, it's got your career in it, but it's also got a lot of your personal life and your marriage to Blake and it's
how we met.
And it's frank about your marriage and the difficulties and things that happened.
Yes.
But did Emma know all of that?
She knew most of it, and she's now, an equal woman, and we face each other, and it's just such a gift to write with your daughter. I can't tell you, it's wonderful.
I can't imagine. How therapeutic as well.
Oh, it's huge, and we trust each other. We have huge respect. She's a far better writer than I am, in fact, because she teaches and teaches writing and does so much. But it was a great pleasure to do it with her. Yeah.
And the book is out now, and it features a lot of your diaries that you
things were happening so fast and furiously. And do you girls keep diaries at all?
I wish I did.
I used to religiously. I don't anymore. I don't know why.
Well, I
think
did.
I'm afraid of them being stolen.
I had some stolen.
I had a boyfriend read my diary once.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh, no.
I had somebody read my diary, and it really bothered me.
Yeah.
I think so.
That would put you off.
That kind of makes
But if you write them, someone's going to read them.
I put mine in a safe deposit box and just kept them in case the kids ever wanted to read them or something like that.
Yeah. But you talk about the beginning with Mary Poppins, and Walt Disney, he came to see you on Broadway.
I was in a show called Camelot with the wonderous Richard Burton, and we heard that Walt Disney was in the audience and asked if he could come backstage, and he came to the dressing room, and I just thought he was coming to be polite and say he'd enjoyed the show, and he started to talk about this live-action animation movie that he hoped to make of Pamela Travers' series Mary Poppins, and would I be interested in coming to Hollywood to just look at his drawings and the designs that he was thinking of and the outlines and so on, and hear the songs. And I said, oh, Mr. Disney, I would adore to, but I'm terribly sorry, but I'm pregnant. And with this one here, with the one who helped me write the book.
Not me, we're not ready.
No. No, with my Emma. Well, there you are.
That's quite exclusive, lady. My mother's going to be furious.
Anyway, Disney very sweetly said, well, that's okay. You're pregnant, so we'll wait. Because I had no idea that a pre-production on a movie can take so long. Right. And by the time he was ready, Emma was now 3 months old, and we all went off to LA together. But there's a PS to the story, which is really lovely. At the time, I was married to my first husband, who's a lovely guy, Tony Walton, who happens to be an English boy that was my childhood sweetheart, and came from the same village that I come from. And he Disney turned to him and said, what do you do, young man? And Tony explained that he was a designer of sets and costumes, but relatively unknown, occasionally a little bit. He was just starting in England. And Disney said, well, bring your portfolio with you when you come to Hollywood. And when we got there, Disney hired him on the spot to do the sets and the costumes for Mary Poppins, and he got an Academy Award nomination for that.
Stop it!
No, really.
Amazing. That's an incredible story.
And truthfully, that was Disney's great talent, was spotting talent. Yeah.
When you heard that Disney was going to be in the audience, Walt Disney, did they tell you before the show or after?
No, we heard that he was out front.
Before you went on?
Well, I guess, yes, at some point we knew he was out there.
Oh, does that make you nervous?
Well, I just thought, oh, how lovely. I mean, he's one of the most famous names in the
Yeah.
whole world. And then when he asked if he could come backstage, I just thought he was being really polite and nice.
Yeah. And I'd say the book is terrific in that, you know, particularly for fans, where you go into, you know, real detail about the films and over the years and all the kind of challenges that happened. So obviously the Sound of Music is writ large in the book as well. And you talk in there about, because because it's such a happy, lovely film. Well, until the Nazis arrive. Until the Nazis. You always forget there were Nazis, don't you? You're always really enjoying that film. Oh, Nazis. But pre-Nazis. Lovely.
Nasty heavies,
lovely,
really.
lovely till then. Yeah. But you talk in the book about the lake and that rowboat
That's
scene,
right.
which was, I mean, properly serious.
Oh, very serious. No, I was in the boat with the whole family, all the children, and we were supposed to see the captain waiting on land to greet us, and he'd been away for a while, so I was supposed to stand up and say, "Oh, Captain, you're home," at which point I fall out of the boat. And just before, and we all then tumble out into the lake, and just before we rolled, this assistant director waded into the water and said, "Can I ask you something, Julie? The little one doesn't swim." And so, and I'm saying, "What?" And so he said, "So would you try to get to her as quickly as you can?" And he said, "When you fall out of the boat, try to fall forward." Yeah. And I'm thinking, he said, "No, we'll do our best as well, but if you..." I was thinking, my God, nobody told me this. And she was a sweet little,
Wall.
7. Well, she's now this gorgeous-looking lady. But then she was just 7 and she couldn't swim. So anyway, the boat rocked backwards and forwards and backwards, and I went over the back rather than over the front. Never swum the breaststroke so fast in my life to get to her. And that poor, lovely kid went under a couple of times, but she came up and threw up and then was fine.
Show business.
I know. She was so brave.
Now, we've got to mention Mary Poppins' first movie, instant Oscar. You just did that kind of skew your life? That well, getting an Oscar is such a big deal. Reese, hello.
Kind of a big deal.
Big deal.
But to be that famous suddenly, did it hit you like a bulldozer?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did indeed. No, I think it sent me into therapy and analysis and all of that, because it's like, what's going on?
Because Reese, what was the moment? Obviously, you won the Oscar for Walk the Line, but what was there? Do you have a moment in your life when you kind of think, "Oh, I'm actually very famous now"?
I remember. I was here in England doing The Importance of Being Earnest film, and then Legally Blonde came out in America, and it made all this money, and I went back to America, and my whole life had changed. Wow. There were paparazzi waiting at the airport. I had a little baby. I was completely terrified.
But did anyone warn you?
No.
Like, before you...
You can't know. People don't know who's going to become... And you don't know why you're the person that people like.
You don't know it's going to be a huge hit.
Well, except, Jennifer, there's a famous picture of all of you guys, all the Friends cast, on a plane. I think you're being flown to Vegas.
Yeah, that's correct. That's with Jimmy Burrows, who was our director, a very fantastic, infamous television director, took us to Vegas and took us to dinner at Caesar's Palace, very fancy, and told all of us to, basically, he said, "I want you guys to all really look out for each other, because this is probably going to go on for a long time."
Oh.
And he said, so the most important thing is look out for each other, take care of each other. And then he gave us each a couple $100, and he said, now go into this casino and enjoy yourselves, because it's the last time that you'll have your anonymity.
That's interesting.
So we didn't know what the heck that meant. So but it really kind of was.
Because once that's...
So someone did sort of prep us, but then again, when it happens, you still think it's so weird.
It's all the touring and trips. And
yes.
I mean, not that one should ever knock it. It's
yes.
It's part of being, it's a huge gift.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of obligation, I think, yeah.
It's strange when someone comes up to you in the aisle of a pharmacy and you're buying toilet paper.
I know.
And then they're like, oh my God, can I get a...
Excuse me, there's a fabulous story about my little Emma, and she was about 3, and she was taken to Saks, to the local Saks, where they had a huge display of cardboard cutouts of Mary Poppins and everything. And she said, oh, look, there's Mummy. And she suddenly heard 2 ladies say, isn't that sweet? That little girl thinks Mary Poppins is her mom.
Very good. All right, now we move on to Jennifer and Reese's new project, back together again in The Morning Show. Now, this launches today on Apple TV+, and I have to say, so Reese, when I saw that, Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell's in it, it's about daytime TV.
I hear it's great, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you backstage. I did.
Okay.
But I was assuming it would be a comedy, but it's not. It's a proper. These are big hour-long dramas.
Yeah, it's very serious, but it has some very light moments.
A lot of laughter, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes. But not like...
Yeah.
That kind of laughter.
No, it was a lot darker than I was expecting.
Anticipating, sure.
Yeah. So the whole show it's based on a morning show, and it's a show. We have sort of shows like that here, but not in the way that America have. In America, they're such staples.
Yes.
These big morning shows, and they're kind of newsy, magazine-y. I mean, how do you describe them now that you're...
They're your morning talk show. You wake up with them. They do the top stories. Then there are sort of lighter pieces. Then there's they cut to the weather. Then the cooking segments.
I'm dying to see it, I must say. I really am.
Well, guess what? Tonight.
Tonight? Or is it tomorrow here? Or tonight here?
It's tonight.
Everywhere in the entire world.
So what are we doing here, for gosh sake? Yes, I mean, really.
Charming.
He does have a point.
Taxi for Andrews.
Sorry.
Well, look, I tell you what, we've got a clip. This is a clip from The Morning Show. This is your character, Jennifer, Alex, preparing to interview Reese as Bradley Jackson. What you're referring there to is the kind of the starting off point of the series is where your co-host of many years, Steve Carell, has been fired for sexual misconduct. And I think a lot of people, will be watching and thinking, oh, this must be Matt Lauer from the Today Show on NBC. But this show was in development long before that.
Yeah. Sadly, it's based on many different... It's the archetype of that character.
And were you playing catch-up with the news while you were developing and writing the show?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so many things happened from the time that we started development. Then all the stories came out about all these different people in media. And so it's like an amalgam of different corporate entities, different people, individuals.
And when you're promoting this show now, because you must be going on the same morning shows again, you're meeting the women who dealt with what you dealt with. Are they still shell-shocked by all these revelations, or is it kind of a positive reboot of those shows?
They are still going on, I guess.
Are they still today? I think they'll. Hopefully, it's been cut short, and that's not happening. But I think what everyone is feeling is has been a positive shift towards righting that wrong that was going on for so long.
Yeah.
And it's just now it's a new normal. So thank God for these women that came out and bravely spoke.
Yeah, it was the right time too, because of Me Too movement and all of that.
Yeah.
But as you say, Julie, it was going on for such a long time, and your book is about your years in Hollywood, and yet that didn't seem to be your experience of men in power.
Well, I was lucky. in that I married my husband, Blake Edwards, pretty soon after arriving in Hollywood. Yes, my love. And so it kind of protected me in a way, being married to him. Just, I didn't somehow get into that kind of predicament.
Now, so the two of you are exec producers on this show, but probably hands-on producing it.
Very hands-on.
Because you were saying, I think, that you were kind of shocked that having come from a TV sitcom to this, that it was quite a lot of work.
Well, it was different than the television that I had, you know, the last time I was on television, it was a studio audience and 4 or 5 cameras, and this was not. This was a lot. This was like a film schedule.
But it's like making 3 movies.
And going back to the office after the take, probably.
Yeah.
And doing all the other business.
All the other stuff.
dailies
But which was fun. I mean, to get in there. And then after we wrapped, and then it was the sound mix, it was the edit, it was all of it. And the opening credits, I mean, just all of that.
Yeah.
Was so much fun.
But you really own it once you've done it, and that's lovely. Yeah.
And we've done it for so long that I think it did become... It was sort of second nature.
Well, I mean, because you're an old hand at this, Reese. I mean, you famously talked... Well, no, you've talked about how you...
Young
you know,
hand.
Young hand. Experienced hands, but young.
Yes.
Flawless, experienced hands. But you talk about how you like to... You read, you option books, and then you turn them into fabulous things. So do publishers just deliver huge truckloads of books to your house now? Is your life sort of inundated by books?
Yes, it
And
is.
she reads them all. I mean,
Well, I don't read them all.
Yeah.
But no, I do read. I read a lot. Because I have a book club, and we pick a book every month. And
But this is a personal book club. It's not.
no,
like
it's on Instagram.
Oh, it is on
Reese's
Instagram.
Book Club. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Follow me.
Take that, open.
But then some of the books we option and we turn them into limited series or long form television shows, and we've done it five times.
Yeah.
4 times. 5
And of course, the big recent one was Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
Yeah.
With Nicole Kidman.
Yeah. And a lot of excitement about Series 2. And because I think paparazzi were following you around because of so many famous people when you were filming it. And they caught this scene.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I know. And what did you think I was going to show?
I don't know.
You were like, what have they got? But then people were upset because this wasn't in the show.
So
Tell me what that is.
that's
'cause I don't have
a
my
scene
glasses
of
on.
me throwing an ice cream cone at Meryl Streep.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So Meryl Streep plays
Look at that
my
face.
And I said to the writer, I said, whatever happens, because we had this scene in an ice cream shop, and I said, I just, in my career, want to throw an ice cream cone at Meryl Streep. And because my character isn't as articulate as her, so I just thought I should throw food at her. And so we did the scene, and I chucked the ice cream at her, and I hit her, which was great.
Excellent.
And she was like, good job. And then they cut it out of the show.
You're the producer. You're the producer.
Yeah, but I have to listen to everybody, and everybody's like, it was a little bit stupid. I was like, yeah, but it was amazing. I have no words, so I just act like a child. And they were like, no, they were
A
not.
career high.
For me, it's probably the best scene I've ever shot in my entire life. I'm not kidding.
And we all missed it.
I
You need
know.
to get it. You can get a clip of it and then
I'll
show it
try
on
and-
your, you know.
I should try and find a clip.
And
yeah.
Big Little Lies 3 presumably is happening now.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we're thinking about it. I don't know.
Are you really?
I don't know. If people want to see it, then we'll probably...
But it's I thought like we were going to see more. Anyway, it's time to meet my next guest. He's one of Britain's greatest stage actors and a giant of the screen. Always a pleasure to welcome Ian McKellen, everybody! Woo! Woo! Lovely to see you. Come in. Dame Julie Andrews.
Nice to see you.
Jennifer Aniston, Ian McKellen, Reese Witherspoon, Ian McKellen.
My new chums. Come and see.
It is yours. It is yours.
I was going to indulge, but I was told it was yours, so...
You were saying that you only became famous when you were in movies. Darling, you were famous in our house. We'll be educating our children.
Oh, that's right. It was a radio series, yes.
It was a radio series, and the star was...
Even I'm not that old.
The star was Peter Brough, and he was a ventriloquist.
With a dummy.
On radio.
And I was the dummy on radio.
Work it out.
Yeah.
And Julie Andrews was in the cast, and Peter Sellers.
Yep.
Oh, those were the days.
And Tony Hancock.
Tony Hancock.
Yes.
Yes.
All sorts of people.
Yes, cheers.
Keep at it, Julie.
Yes. Ian, you're here to tell us about your new film.
Yes.
The Good Liar, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. The Good Liar, it's out on the 8th of November. And this is great. It's you and Dame Helen Mirren together.
Yeah.
And it's one of those kind of proper twisty, turny...
Have you seen it?
Yes, of course I have.
Oh.
Yes, twisty, turny thriller. And you described it right, you described it as it's a puzzle film.
Yes.
You play a bad guy, don't you?
Oh,
Sort
I'm not
of.
allowed to say because, you know, if I
You
give
don't
away
know.
the
Oh,
plot...
sorry.
Yes, of course I do.
Sorry,
No,
what
I
an
do.
idiot I am.
Everyone's got a doubtful past, but it's difficult to talk about.
What
because-
can you tell us?
Well, it begins with Helen and I meeting on a date on the internet.
Okay.
Like you do.
Yes.
Have you ever done that?
I do now.
I've never done that.
Neither.
Have you?
No, I haven't, no.
So many of my friends have met online and are married now. Isn't
Yes,
it's
that's
wonderful?
true. It's lovely.
Anyway, this story develops.
Break the internet. Go on.
Moment by moment, it gets more complicated and I suppose dangerous and thrilling. It's a thriller.
And now the rap party. Russell Tovey and Bill Condon have talked about the rap party. Do you remember the rap party?
Well, most of the film takes place in yes, I do. Most of the film takes place in London, but there's a segment in Berlin, modern Berlin, and we went, and that was when we finished the film, and someone suggested we should go to a club. It was an odd club because it wasn't in any sort of premises that I recognise as being congenial to having a good time. It was like an old school or something. But at the door, you were not you could pay the entrance admission, but the more you took off before you went in, the less you had to pay.
I want to know...
Yes,
what
I know
was
you do. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I wore my underpants and a rather fetching pair of silver lame trousers that someone provided for me, and you know I've still got them at home. In fact, I might be. Oh no.
And apparently it was quite
Well,
late.
I can't tell you what went on in there.
Oh, okay.
Things that I didn't know.
Dame Julie Andrews is right there.
Yes.
I'd like to know.
Well,
What kind of a club?
Sex, basically.
Oh, it was a
Dark
sex
rooms,
club.
all that sort of thing. Yeah, and dancing and chatting and drinking and.
But mostly sex.
Well, I suspect.
Yeah.
But not for me. And I look quite fetching.
Yeah, I bet you did. But nothing came of it, right? Nothing.
No.
It's a wasted evening. I don't believe a word of it.
We'll be educated.
Oh, shut up.
Look, we've got a clip from The Good Liar.
Oh.
Well, actually, what it is, it's really just a taste of the whole film. Oh, it's a taste of what to expect. Yeah.
dear.
How many pairs of Jimmy Choos?
Like 77. I had it written in my contract.
Smart. Good, right?
Let's get the food. Is it red?
That is like that.
Do you still? Did you wear all 77 of them?
All of them. I did in the show, yeah.
But in life?
Well, no, I've never touched them. And then on the 15th anniversary, I took them all out of storage and tried them all on. Some of them fit, some of them didn't. And then, it was really cool. And I showed them all to my daughter, and it was really cool.
Because Julie, you mentioned your first husband who designed Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Did you end up getting loads of those props?
No, the only thing I did take home, and I think he may have done it for me, was the pretty little pink and white button-up shoes, another pair of shoes, from Mary Poppins' outing with Bert. Those, there they are.
Oh,
Wow.
and do you still have them?
Yeah, no, they're doorstops now. They were filled with sand and look very pretty.
Oh, and I've got to ask, because in the book you talk about when you got your Oscar, you put it in the attic.
I did.
Is it out of the attic now?
Yes, I did finally bring it down. Yeah, I felt... You know, I thought the Oscar had sort of been given to me as a kind of Welcome to Hollywood. I did.
Oh, that's adorable.
Well, honestly,
That's so sweet. You know, that's so
I
neat.
never, as I said, I'd never made a movie before. It was the first movie I ever made. And so I thought, I don't really feel worthy of this. So I stuck it up in my attic for a while. It's now beautifully displayed in my office.
Oh,
that's
adorable.
Yeah.
You walk in, floodlights come on.
But I did keep it up there for quite a while.
Reese, yours is nicely displayed?
You know what? I didn't have it in the attic, but I did have it sort of tucked away.
Now, why did you do that?
I don't know. I felt like it was a little
Showy-offy?
showy-offy, and then I don't know. I went through some personal stuff, and then I was like, you know what? I'm putting it in the front living room. I might make it into the doorbell. And I don't have it anymore.
Now, Ian, presumably some of your, we'll call it memorabilia rather than just stuff you've nicked. Some of your memorabilia. Is it in your pub? I don't know if you know this. Ian has a pub.
What?
Is it in the pub? Do you have any on display?
Oh, the staff, Gandalf's staff is in the pub. It's behind the bar.
Okay.
It's sort of chained there. You can't...
You don't whack the drunken customers with it.
No, certainly not. No, no.
And do you still do the Monday night quiz?
Yes, Yes, Monday night we had a quiz, and I was the quiz master, or I arranged for a friend to come and be substitute for me. But it meant that I had to think up the questions, 40 of them. It took a day of every week of my life finding these wretched questions. There are plenty of books to help you, but even
Can you tell me where the pub is?
it's in the East End in Limehouse.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Charles Dickens used to go there.
Okay.
And Graham's been there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It runs the gamut. It's quite a wide demographic. Well, we thought you could kind of fill in as your host as quiz master, because we've got some questions. We've got some questions.
Something like
now,
that.
this is like a friends trivia.
Oh, she's gonna win.
Oh, I don't know that.
So friends trivia. No, well, really, I think there's some for you, there's some you'll know. If they don't know, then I'm sure the audience will know. Okay. Now, do you hear the questions? Okay. Julie, no cheating.
Yeah.
I see you're all competing.
Yeah, I know the answer, so I can't compete.
So I'd like you to put your hand up if you know the answer.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll ask you. Is that fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Are you ready, Julie?
Yes, sort of, yes.
Question. What is Rachel wearing in her first ever scene?
Oh.
Oh, Rachel.
Oh, I can't answer that.
Yes, you can.
A wedding dress.
I would.
A wedding dress is the correct answer.
Well done.
Oh my God! Look how cute that
All right.
So sweet.
Next question. What is the next line after "This is about you being a brat, wanting what you can't have"? Reese.
Can't have. The only thing I can't have is dairy.
Correct.
Because I said it on the show.
One of the best lines.
I said that line on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Question. How did Rachel ruin the British trifle?
Ow! I put beef in it. Beef in at the bottom. I layered beef into the trifle.
Well, you didn't. You put shepherd's pie.
Oh,
in it.
right.
And shepherd's pie is not made with beef; it's made with lamb. Sheep, lamb.
Wow. He's firm but fair.
Well, you'd expect a landlord to know that.
Yes.
What song does Rachel sing to get her daughter to stop crying?
Baby got back.
I like
Baby Got Back is the correct answer.
Yeah, that's one for the audience.
And for a bonus point, Jennifer, would you like to sing the opening line of the song?
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
There you go, extra point.
I know, yeah.
I thought you meant the opening line of the theme song.
Oh.
Because I could have told you that.
Do you want to sing that?
So no one told you that it's gonna be this way.
On it.
On the wall.
You got one last one?
Yes, and this is for you,
For me?
Julie.
Oh.
The question is, when Ross dated Rachel, Why did he feel it was fine to sleep with other women?
And I know it's because he said we were on a break.
Correct.
Is that right? Yeah.
Well done.
Oh my God!
Then Julie Andrews wins. She wins.
Yes,
oh,
souvenirs.
Yes, souvenirs. Mementos. Mementos for everybody. Very good. Time for music. This double Grammy Award-winning pop star shot to fame in 2017 with her self-titled debut album. Now she's back with a new single, performing Don't Start Now. It's Dua Lipa! Well done to the backing singers, the band. We love that. Oh, God, big shoes. Hello, darling. Thank you so much for that. Come in. Reese Witherspoon, the Witherspoon, the Julie Andrews, the McKellen, Dua Lipa.
Pleasure to meet you. Hello. Very lovely to meet you too.
Oh, have a seat, do.
Come on.
Thank you very much for that pop-tastic, shiny performance.
Thank you so much. That was so fun.
Wow, that's a lot of silver. Are you very hot?
I feel a little bit like a rotisserie chicken, but other than that, it's all good.
Yeah, sounding great, looking fabulous.
Thank you.
Now, the new single, that's Don't Start Now, we just heard, that's out now, right?
Yes, it
And
is.
album...
The album's coming next year.
Oh, it's next year?
Yes,
Oh,
but
I'm so
you'll
cynical.
find out the title in a month, and it's like a very nostalgic disco-orientated album. And once the album title's out next month, I feel like it will make a lot more sense.
And since you were last here, like Dame Julie Andrews, you now have 2 Grammys.
Wow.
Yeah? You performed them. Did you perform them tonight?
I did, yeah.
So what is that? I mean, that must be so stressful to be up for awards and having to perform, and it's all live.
It's terrifying, honestly.
Must be.
And I only found out I was going to perform in the Grammys a week before the Grammys.
Oh my God.
So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I literally didn't have time to think about anything. I was just like, okay, I'm going on the Grammys. Don't mess this up.
So where's the Grammy now?
Oh, yes, good question.
It's at home.
Where? In the attic?
No. No, it's in my living room.
Nice.
Oh, both of them, right?
Yes.
Yes, you have got both.
I do.
Are they beside each other, or are they bookends?
No, they're next to each other.
Next. They'd be lonely otherwise.
They would be really lonely.
Yeah. Who wants one Grammy? Well, I'm sure there are more Grammys in your future. Thank you for that fabulous performance,
Thank you
and
so
good
much.
luck
That's
with the
very
album.
kind.
Dua Lipa, everybody! That is nearly it, but we do have time for a quick visit to the big red chair. Who's there? Hello.
Hello,
Hi, who are you?
I'm Renu.
Hello, and what do you do for a living?
I work as a consultant in an IT company.
Okay, I thought you were going to be a medical consultant. I thought you really shouldn't be doing this. No one wants to see you in an office on Harley Street tomorrow. Okay, off you go with your story.
Yep. I'm from a South Indian family. I had an arranged marriage, so I was given choices. When I met the first guy, the first question that I asked him was, have you watched Friends? And he had no idea about the show. That was a huge letdown for me, so I had to reject him. Even though he was a really nice guy. But my mom thought I was crazy to be making life decisions over this. And then the very next guy that I met, he was a huge Friends fan. We really hit it off. And he proposed to me the same way as how Chandler proposed to Monica. The same words. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here because he's babysitting our daughter.
Oh, you can definitely walk. Well done, you. That's an adorable story. That's amazing. Listen, that really is all we've got time for. If you'd like to have a go in that red chair, you can just contact us via our website at this very address. Please say a huge thank you to all of my guests. Dua Lipa! Reese Witherspoon! Jennifer Aniston! Dame Julie Andrews! And Ian McKellen! Join me next week with singer Niall Horan, former Lady-in-Waiting Lady Glenconner, comedian Richard Ayoade, Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman, and from The Crown, Helena Bonham Carter and Oscar winner Olivia Colman. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye!